Okay, so back to Masonic Order. There's a lot more of that. So all this have meanings. I'm not gonna go into them. I'm just gonna go into a few of them. This is your 5-star. This is where Satanic Order is, and this is your positive harvesting, and this is Satanic, because the reason for that is because, and a lot of times people call Satanic Order that has a red color attached to it and blood, is because this is how they feed. Okay, and I can go into that, but I'm just going to go overall. Every one of them, they're just builders. They're builders of this reality for you, okay? And so they control the light and the dark, okay? They are telling you, their foundation for how they build their world is they don't have illusion of separation, okay? And so this is more of their things that have meaning, that will always have that black and white checkerboard. This is going to have 7 levels because it has to do with the dragon, draconian Draco. The dragon races are, by the time they come here, they're the Dracos. Okay, and so all of this, and so here's your self-sacrifice. The cross is the self-sacrifice path, and so this is included. G is the 7th letter, so it has a lot to do with 7 and 3. That's their numbers, and those are all explanatory. I mean, they all mean something. They mean it's a means of control, because when you look at this, you activating your pineal. Okay? When you look at this, you activate your pineal. And for as long as, the reason why there's symbols everywhere is for as long as you look at that, it will keep your consciousness locked up in that pineal gland. And so your soul's going to be locked in there. And then your good side, or your positive side, will do all kinds of, spiritual activations of pineal gland, or through pineal gland, or activate the pineal gland. And so that all is also a rape on of your mind in positive, but the negative cannot work without the positive. So this is kind of the same, but I mean, it just shows you, I mean, this tells you everything pretty much, the 7 stars here, and so that always, because this planet is, the Anunnaki that are here, they are, because it's a long story to go why Anunnaki are here, and why their frequency is weak, and why they have to actually jump on and hibernize with Draconians. So that's why 7 is very important, because the main frequency that are around the planet is for Draconian races, for reptilians. Okay? And then when you have Anunnaki, some of Anunnaki will not look reptilian, but some will. It depends who they mix with, okay? And what frequency is stronger. There's more of the Masonic orders, and so this is all, this, you see this buildings everywhere, but all this, the 23.4 degrees, very important, because I told you about the tilt. And they have to redirect your frequency, so you always stay in pineal and never drop into your center to rehabilitate, to heal your soul, okay? They're everywhere. They're on our coins, they're on our dollar. Again, this is 23.5 degree there. And then in here, you also have the positive, the Merkabah field, which is all it is. It's a transport vehicle that transports your frequency, or feeds the other realities. That in that that is what, when they take something, it locks it in here, and then that's what goes through the black hole, or the portal back to feed their reality. Okay, so this is why Merkabah field is very important in a lot of spiritual teachings, because the spiritual teachings are there to harvest your quanta, in a positive, good way, singing Kumbaya, that will harvest your frequency. So, but, and I mean, everything. This is why in Ashe and Adin has everywhere, that Merkabah field. It's all built on that, because all of that teaching is built on harvesting quanta. Okay? You take this. This is harvesting our body. It reminds you of something? Right. This is a Jewish candle, and it always has a Merkabah field right here. And usually it's a little off balance. So because our fourth chakra is off balance. Okay? That's 23.4 degrees. So this is, and the thing is, because a lot of times in that, there is a Jewish candle that will have like it will have 9 of those candles, and the reason for that, for 9 candles like this, I have it here somewhere. See, there goes 9, because this one and this one are dual chakras. So all the religions, this is all about harvesting. Harvesting, harvesting, harvesting. Positive and negative, it doesn't matter. This is the reason why the 90% of, the 85% of people, total 85% of population, are incarnated on this planet to harvest quantum. Okay? This is your, and sometimes they talk about having a 9 points or 9 chakras. Is because they count this as 2, because they're dual chakras, but actually 7 is more correct, because they're not full chakras, they're dual chakras. But this is, they do that, and that just confuses you, but you're still getting harvested. Okay. The other symbol that I want to talk about, that they have, the reason why it's all about harvest is because they have a lot of symbols about harvest. Alright, let's look at this one. I'll move this. Let's look at this one, okay? We've seen this before. This is more complicated. The more simple one, a lot of us have seen, is, then there's this one. You know, that's simple. What this is what this talks about is a Drakus. Okay? And this is about harvest. This is the cycle of harvest. Because the Draconians, they harvest their own. Okay? So basically, the head is feeding on its tail. This signifies harvest. Okay? Harvest of the souls, or feeding on your own. Alright? There's a lot more of those. Here we go. This one, dark and light. And so it has Merkabah field inside. Alright? Merkabah field inside, because it harvests. Okay? This is all about harvest. This is why it fits in. Okay? And then here's your Anunnaki races. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay? And this is Draconian races. But here's Star of David. It's a harvesting. Again, harvest. And again, you see that snake right around, and you see all that. This one, also very nice one, because it shows you, see, the harvest here, and this shows the planet. Okay, moon is the pineal, so it's right here. It shows you the layers of harvest. Okay, so this is a harvest of astral levels as well. Okay, so that's all about harvest, and we all know about the 23.5 degree, and they do that at 23.5 degree a lot, because they have to now send the center of the planet when 23.4 degrees, 23.44. So this is what planet did after Atlantis. Okay, so now they have to redirect your frequency. So this is why they hide it in every possible way. They will, sneak that 23.5 degree in, 23.4 degree in. They'll sneak that in, okay? Like simple art, and it's right there. And there's a lot more. I showed you guys a lot more of that. So, I don't know what else I can talk about, but the other thing, we have to understand that our bodies are like planetary body, and our chakras is all we are in the reality that we are in. So like in here, you know, we have 7 glands, and all, you know, coordinate to your chakras. So here's how they harvest. They have to harvest through the center, and so this is the cross of self-sacrifice. So this is what it is. And the interesting thing, a lot of people in religions, you will see that they will wear a cross right around their center. That means they have sacrificed their own soul, you know, instead of rehabilitating and moving on with the planet to back into internal creation. They sacrifice themselves, and so those that self-sacrifice themselves, eventually they'll be stuck in astral levels, and they will eventually go space dust, meaning they will implode, because all light creation, unless it feeds itself for another cycle, will implode right here. So when people talk about ascension, what ascends is through Merkabah field. What ascends is your frequency, okay? But then your soul, that's made of light only and not internal frequency, it stays. So this is what they only take what they lock into Merkabah field, okay? This is why when Ashayana Dean and Lisa Renee talk about taking this Merkabah field and protecting your body, and they have this activations where you send this, you visually send this from the center of the planet all the way up into the sky, this Merkabah field that surrounds your body. Basically what it does, it sucks your body of organic quantum. And usually they talk about that it is silver in color. The reason it's silver in color is because black and white mix, meaning black and white, both sides. So because you do have positive and negative energy, because you're you know, you have, and like when they wanted to harvest your emotional physical body, you have positive and negative. So this is why it's mixed, so it picks up on both, and it actually takes the organic frequency and sends it to a higher level. So it, from astral levels, there's portals that take to their home planets or their home worlds, okay? So what happens is, this is why the moon is very important, because through the moon, everything in here goes through the moon. So moon first, then sun, okay? So what happens is, when they take that, when they harvest the soul, they only take what they got in Merkabah field and they send it. This is why all those positive activations, having you send that all the way down to your home planet, to your aurora shield, or whatever she calls it. But the rest of you, the rest of your soul, because you've self-sacrificed, it's going to stay behind. You're not going to go through that portal as a whole being. You've sacrificed part of your soul. So when people are harvested, it's not so much that they're killed, or they're part of them is harvested, and that's why part of them is gone. And that's why people then go into this, what I call the you know, a harvest healing. And I want to talk about that a little bit, because the harvest healing is, well, some say it's 5 stages, but I say it's 6, because first one is shock. The shock thing, and when you talk about harvested people, it's collectives we talk about. I'm gonna go into that in next one.